Hey guys, what's going on? Going to take a quick look at Shiba Inu. Ticker for this is SHIB, and I'm currently on the weekly time frame. A couple things before I get started though. If you're not subscribed and you want to be able to not only get notified when I release new videos, but just find this channel again, because once you click away, if you're not subscribed, you may have a hard time finding it because it's a pretty new channel. There's only around 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, if you find the analysis helpful and you want to be able to find new analysis videos in the future, just take a second, click the subscribe button, click the bell, and then click on all. Also, if you want a place to trade SHIB and pretty much any of the other coins that I talk about, I put a link to 2 different exchanges in both the pinned comment and the description. The first one's called BitGet. I've been using it for a few months now. I really like it, but in a few weeks, they're going to start requiring KYC. If that's not your thing, I understand. If you want an exchange that does not require KYC, look to the second link that I have pinned there. It's called BingX. And right now, no KYC on BingX. And if you click the link, you'll see that they're offering some pretty good sign-up bonuses. All right, so back to SHIB. So this recently faked a lot of people out. I saw people were posting stuff on Twitter claiming that we were experiencing a breakout, and they were basing that here. I'm going to change the chart here for a second. I want to show you something. They were basing it on, here, I'm going to move this. They were basing it on this. So we had this downsloping level of resistance. It was a valid trend line. So right from the top to these candle bodies and this one here, we broke out of it. Everyone got pretty excited, and they were starting to call for higher targets. At the time, I had a trend line drawn like this, as I just showed you here, just because I don't want to get faked out, right? So this gives a couple lessons. Sometimes you're going to be able to draw multiple different trend lines, and if one trend line breaks, don't forget that there could be another valid trend line just slightly above that will serve as a resistance point, okay? So a valid trend line is a line that has 3 touches. But anyway, this is the trend line that's most valid right now. So actually, I'm going to go back to here. This one's not even valid anymore. Now, this would still be valid if it held as a support level. So you see, when we broke out, price came back down, and it was serving as a support for this week. So you see the price came under it, and then the buyer stepped in to defend the level. Candle body closed above it, and again right here, price came below, bull stepped in to defend the level, candle body closed above, but you'll see that we started closing candles below it. Right now we're coming back above, but for now the priority for me is going to be on this line instead, okay? And if you want to draw it on your chart, just basically replicate what I have right here. So connect it with this wick, start from up here, and yeah, that's pretty much exactly where we got rejected. Price came up. It looked like we were going to have a breakout, but in my video I mentioned that I was personally going to wait for this weekly candle to close. Okay, so on the daily time frame, this most likely looked like a breakout. Actually, let's check it out. Daily time frame. Yeah, so it looked like we were getting a breakout on the daily time frame. You'll see we broke out and we came back, and this looked like it was going to be a successful retest. You see there was a big fight right here to maintain this level, this previous resistance level as a support, but ultimately just no momentum to the upside, and we had a big drop off that. But the weekly time frame, so you see the daily time frame was a breakout, and the weekly time frame, no breakout, just rejection. So just let this be a lesson in when you're drawing your trend lines and also multi-time frame analysis, okay? Just because something breaks out on the daily doesn't mean it's going to be a breakout on the weekly. Okay, so as for where we are right now, I'm going to change the chart back. It looks like buyers are starting to come in here, so let's run a fib from the swing low up to the swing high, and we'll see if we're at a key level. If this is at the 618, okay, so yeah, that's not surprising that we are getting a response off this level. Look at this, right off the 618. Yeah, not a bad place for somebody who wanted to take a short-term long with the stop loss right underneath this golden pocket range. And obviously your profit take off this would be, I mean, ideally back up around this downsloping level of resistance. So let's just map that out and see what that would look like from a risk-reward perspective. So long position from where we are right now, let's place the stop just below this this wick. So in this particular trade, we're going to rely on this golden pocket to serve as a support, as our backstop for the stop loss. Ideally the 618, but our stop loss is going to be positioned right below the previous wick right here, the swing low. And as for the target, A very conservative target would be here, this horizontal trend line. And in the previous SHIB videos that I did, I basically showed you how to mark up your charts to trade this, and this horizontal line was one of the levels that I mentioned, as you can see, because it was, it was resistance right here, and when we broke it, that's when we had this massive run up to the upside, and then we came all the way back down to retest it as a support level. So yeah, it served as a support right here, but and again right here. So this is a key level on the chart, but now we're below it, so you can anticipate that this level is going to serve as a level of resistance. So in this trade with the conservative target, it's only going to give us a risk reward ratio of 1 to 1.25. Not really ideal, not enticing for me. I would have to risk a little over 7% to get just under 9%. So that's not interesting. However, if the price comes up, what I would do and how I would play this, and for the record, I'm not taking this trade, okay? Before I personally look to take any longs on this coin, on SHIB, I want to wait for a weekly candle close to break this down sloping level of resistance. But for now, on the short term, I'm just going to give you an example of what trade setups can be had based on what we're seeing on the chart right now. But yeah, this particular setup, 1 to 1.25 with the conservative target. However, the way I would play this if I was to take this long would be to progressively move my stop loss up as this price came higher, right? And ideally, I'd like to get to a point where it's a free trade, right? So my stop loss would come up to here, my entry point. Therefore, if the price makes it up to this first conservative take profit target and it gets rejected and comes back down, I would be stopped out either with a small profit or a break even, right? So yeah, you can just basically click and drag your stop loss and move it up as the price increases, right? So you can minimize your risk. And that way, if the price breaks this level, you're still in the trade, and this upper range is the ideal target, which is the, again, the long-term downsloping level of resistance. And if the price is able to make it all the way up here, that will give you a risk-reward ratio of almost 1 to 4, risking just under 7% to potentially get over 25% to the upside. But again, the way I'm personally going to play this right now is nothing. I'm not even going to enter a trade on this, a long trade anyway, until we break this trend line. This is the key trend line that's holding the SHIB price down right now. Once a weekly candle is able to break above this, then I expect a lot of buying pressure to come in, because SHIB, if you don't know, has a massive community, right? And then when this trend line breaks, that's when I'll anticipate these higher targets. So the first major resistance, if this line breaks, I imagine it'll probably come up to around right here, the top of these two candle bodies, maybe break, come up here, come back, retest, and then the next target is going to be, I mean, there's too many zeros, but just take a horizontal line and mark it at the top of these candle bodies right here. This is another key level. You see it was resistance here. When we broke above it, we came back, it was support right here. So if we're able to break above this downsloping level of resistance, this line here is going to be a major level of resistance as well. And then beyond that, you're looking at these targets right here. And I got these levels by running a Fibonacci from the swing high down to the swing low. So looks like this, swing high down to the swing low, and that's what gave me these target zones. And you see, if you look to the left, they're very confluent with the price. Okay, so we have price confluence around this range. So this level right here is the first Fibonacci retracement level that I pay attention to. It is the 382, and you'll see that it's basically at the top of this candle wick. Beyond that, there's the 50% fib retracement, and that also lines up with this price cluster right here. If I was holding up to this 50% level, I would front run this 50% target just slightly and take profits right here at the first line of this box, which coincides with the support level based on these two candle bodies. See, I'll take a horizontal line and just run it from the lower region of these candle bodies, and you'll see that lines up pretty much perfectly with the lower line of this box. So I'd front run the 50 slightly and pull profits right here. Now obviously, if that level breaks, there's a 618, which also lines up pretty much perfectly with the price action here. You see it was resistance here. So obviously, if the price comes back up, we have confluence with the 618 and this previous resistance level, and then beyond that, the 786. Okay guys, so that about wraps it up. Just a quick update on SHIB. Faked a lot of people out, but yeah, you got to kind of analyze the chart and draw multiple trend lines, because while one breaks, there may be another one just slightly ahead that you need to pay attention to, because I'm sure a lot of people went long when they saw that first trend line I showed you break, and they ended up getting wrecked and stopped out. So anyway, if you found this video helpful, just smash the like button, subscribe if you want to be able to find the channel again or get updates, and yeah, check out the links in the pinned comment and the description if you're looking for a place to trade and you want some pretty good sign-up bonuses. All right, guys, take care. Have a good day. Bye.